Okay, here's a tip on how you can easily thread the cable which is attached to your security camera or any similar cable through the wall or fence or basically any part of your home. The problem with the cable on the security camera is that it's all floppy, plus it's got two ends. I mean, this end here is connected to the camera, and then you've got a separate end which goes to the box, which you join together as so, red to the red, yellow to the yellow. The problem with this, I mean, whatever way you go through, whether you thread this one, try to thread this through the wall, or thread this one through the wall, the problem is it's all floppy, it's got two ends, it's also got bits of molded plastic or rubber on the end, which are really difficult to get through. So to get around this, it's quite an easy solution. All you need is to buy yourself some metal wire, such as this. This is actually, hope you can see this, this is gardening wire. You can get this from gardening stores or supermarkets in the gardening aisle. This, you can get a small pack of this for about £1 or £2. If you haven't got this, if you want to use this, a thin coat hanger, a metal coat hanger, providing it's thin and strong and rigid enough to push the cable through. It doesn't matter what you use. So just set some thin metal wire is all you need. So as I explained, I mean, here's a brick I've got here. I've drilled a hole in the brick to show you an example. The problem with the cable is that, you know, you try to thread, if you did this by hand, you'd have to thread one thing through, then you're then through. But the problem is once you get through the hole, there's a cavity here, then another row of bricks, that the cable will just drop into the cavity. You'll never get it at the other end, unless you're really lucky, basically. So to get around this problem, you know, first of all, you obviously need to drill the appropriate size hole. The problem with cables connecting to security cameras, etc., is that you have this plastic or rubber molded bit here where it splits into two. To get this through, you probably need at least a 20mm bit. You have to double check with your particular brand, or whatever cable you're using. So make sure the hole's big enough to get this through. That's the most important part, and obviously the ends. So to get the ends through, as I said just a minute ago, you're going to need some cable, metal wire, some strong, rigid but thin metal wire, and then get yourself some tape. Any tape will do. I'm using masking tape, but insulation tape or even sellotape will do. So the process for threading your cable through your brick wall, your house wall, whatever you want to call it, process is quite simple. So the first thing we're going to do is get some tape. First thing we want to do is tape up the ends. Now it doesn't matter which way you're threading this through. This cable here is connected to the camera, as you can see. So you may want to thread this end from the outside to the inside, or you may want to thread the inside cable that comes from the DVR box from the inside to the outside. It doesn't matter. So for this demonstration, I'm going from the outside to the inside. So first thing you need to do is to tape up the ends of the connections. This just helps to protect them from dirt and any scrapes they may encounter when you push them through. So just put some tape around the ends, not too much, just enough to protect them, stop any dirt getting in. Once you've taped both ends up, you then want to tape one of these joints. Because they split into two, you want to tape one of these into a back position. And be careful when you do this. You don't want to crease, bend the cable too much, as it may break it. So just be careful. Again, take your tape, pin it into its back position. I'm just doing this quickly. You might want to be a bit more thoroughly. Again, just try to make sure there's not too much of a bend in the cable. And then again, just tape this down so it's compressed enough to get through the hole, but not so much that you damage the cable. So once that's, as you can see, that should be wide, tight enough to get through the hole. So once you've taped your cable in place, it will look like that. You have this end and this end back in this place. So next step is to get your metal wire. You then want to tape the one end of the wire, say the yellow end, to the tip of the wire. Again, this is really simple, take you no more than 10 minutes. So tape the rigid wire to the end of that, and again you want to get some old tape and tape the bottom end of the wire. Again, I would go around the actual connection point. I mean, 2 bits of tape in either end should do the job. If you want, you can do it a third if you wanted to. So now we have our cable taped in place. We can see we can actually pick it up with the wire. The wire is strong and rigid enough. So the next process, as you can probably guess, is quite easy. So for example, I'm outside. Here's my camera. I can now thread this through the hole. Just bear in mind, it might take you, I'm doing this with one hand, you do it with two, so it's a lot more precise. So just make sure your hole's big enough. Thread it all the way through the hole. Again, just make sure this joint's tight down firmly. This hole I've drilled here is actually a little bit too small, but again, I recommend a 20mm hole at minimum. So once that's through, you can see the whole thing's going through slowly. So just slowly push it through, obviously using 2 hands. Like I said earlier, this hole I've drilled is a little bit too small for the job, but you get the idea. So once the whole thing's through, you can push the cable and you can see the whole thing's through. You should then be able to thread the thing through the cavity. Like I just said, the hole I've drilled is a little bit too small, so I've had to force it through a little bit too much, but you get the idea. Once it's through the hole, you then go through the cavity, then hopefully you should be able to meet up with the other hole and push the whole thing through. Like I said, as long as the wire is stiff and strong enough, this process, you might have to do this a couple of goes. It isn't likely to go through first time, but you get the idea. It goes all the way through, into the home. You can then attach the camera to the wall outside, and that's basically the easiest and cheapest way you can thread a security cable camera through the brick wall of your house. Thanks for watching.